South Korea has raised its surveillance alerts level amid indications that the North is preparing a medium-range missile test. US and South Korean sources say that at least one previously untested type of missile, with a range of around 3,000 kilometers, is fueled and ready for launch. North Korea says that foreigners in the south should leave for their own safety, as it warns that the region inches towards thermonuclear war.
We do know that North Korea has moved 2 missile launches into position. They are on the east coast of the country. Now, it is believed that if a test goes ahead, it will be a Musudan missile. Now, this is a medium-range missile, can travel up to 4,000 kilometres. Obviously, taking in us here in South Korea, it could potentially reach Japan, and then also US bases positioned in Guam. Now, it is important to note, however, that this would be a test. That is, according to US and South Korean authorities, and that it won't be a strike. But the United States has said that if it poses any threat, that that missile would be struck down. Let's have a listen to what the Unification Ministry here in Seoul said a bit earlier.
Various moves by North Korea are a kind of strong psychological warfare to build up the sense of instability, so we do not have to be too worried or pay too much attention to those moves.
According to our and the US's intelligence, it is highly likely for North Korea to launch a missile. From now to any time, the launch can take place. We believe that the missile will be a Musudan, which is a new form of mid-range missile with a range of 3,500 kilometers. How far it will travel depends on North Korea's will.
The Japanese government is fully prepared to protect the lives and safety of the Japanese people. Defense Minister Onodera is also aware of the orders.
We are on high alert. We have deployed our force, so we remain alert and ready to continue our operations.
North Korea's threats to attack the United States have been described as unhelpful rhetoric by the White House, but they've not been totally dismissed. The commander of American forces in the Pacific was asked at the Senate Armed Services Committee if the U.S. could defend itself. The United States has deployed a land-based interception system in Guam in the Pacific, and 2 missile defense ships have been sent closer to the Korean peninsula.
The border today as cold as relations between the 2 Koreas. South Korean troops patrol the so-called demilitarized zone, the DMZ. That's also a hair trigger between enemies. On one side, at least 30,000 South Korean troops, backed by almost 30,000 American forces on the peninsula. Across the valley, 70% of North Korea's million-man army. Both sides watch each other so closely here, we're required to wear uniforms to blend in, to avoid raising suspicion. We're the first Western journalists to visit this remote South Korean outpost.
This is one of the most militarized borders in the world, and because of the latest tension, South Korean forces have been ordered to a heightened state of readiness. Here, that means watching for suspicious activity by North Korean forces. So far, nothing.
But South Korean officials do expect Pyongyang to launch a medium-range missile miles from here, perhaps very soon. A show of force not everyone takes seriously.
North Korea has loaded 2 missiles onto launchers on its east coast and is threatening to fire them at the United States. So let this be a warning to you, middle of the ocean.
If a missile does head out to sea, the U.S. is unlikely to shoot it down. But if it takes a more threatening path, the U.S. says it's prepared.
I believe we have a credible ability to defend the homeland, to defend Hawaii, defend Guam, to defend our forward deployed forces, and defend our allies.
North Korea is keeping tensions high. Today, warning foreigners in South Korea to be prepared to evacuate. More bluster, South Koreans suspect, but here in the DMZ, the South is ready, just in case.
Pyongyang has given workers from the south until Wednesday to leave the Kaesong industrial zone, which both sides run jointly. The UN chief is appealing for calm.
I'm deeply concerned and troubled, as you just said, as one of the Korean citizens particularly, that the current level of tension is very dangerous. If any a small incident caused by miscalculation or misjudgment, it may create an uncontrollable situation.